Good evening and welcome to Kingsport 1876 Session 3. We have our full cast, all veteran, all amazing, all Kingsporters back with us tonight. And I think we'll just kick things off by introducing my longtime partner in crime, Serafina, who's playing Adam R. Ghoul.
Hello, I'm Serafina, she, her, playing Adam, he, him. Looks like a hot goth Tom Hiddleston, really into it. When we last saw him, he was having a really hard time as a dutiful Fairchild. Being suddenly a hungry undead monster is a little unsettling for him, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how he grapples with that moving forward.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Also, by the way, I'm pretty sure that goth Tom Hiddleston is called Tom Hiddleston.
I mean, fair.
Next up, we go to Jesse, one of our original Kingsporters, who's playing Johnny Smith Arselke.
Hi, I'm Jesse, he, him, and I am playing Johnny Smith, the Selkie, also he, him. Man, I mean, Johnny has basically been kind of innocently screwing his way around the cast. He is extremely hot. He rarely wears a shirt. And he just wants to understand, like, how are people exactly?
Around you apparently turned on is the answer. So next up, why don't we go to Stephen, who is playing Atalanta Winters, our werewolf.
Hi, I'm Stephen Desjardins, he, him. I'm playing Atalanta Winters, she, her, the werewolf, who has a rather fraught relationship with Selina at the moment, in that they were lovers and then they quarreled, and now Atalanta is hunting her with a bow and arrow.
I mean, if I've seen that kind of romance story once, I've seen it 100 times, right? At least on this show. Finally, last but not least, Joe, who is playing Selina our Fae.
Hey, I'm Joe, they, them, and Selina playing Selina, she, her. And I would debate the use of the word lovers. We made love. That doesn't make us lovers. So maybe stop haunting me, please.
Well, yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, it's fair. That's fair. And I'm Kat, the mistress of ceremony, she, her, and you may occasionally see Willow around here, whose gender I think can only be described as claw bite. So let's just do a quick safety thing. Hey, we use the X card here. X card is a device to allow us to approach problematic content without actually engaging it. So if you guys encounter anything in the game that you don't want in the game, you can just X card it by saying X card or doing something in the chat or holding your arms, or, we've got our roll for the party room open. We have a button for that there too. And we use lines and veils. Lines are things we don't have in the story at all, and veils are things we can, but we don't necessarily have them on screen. Do we need to revisit any of those right now? All right. As a reminder, our lines are sexual assault, romantic coercion, violence against domestic animals, and historically appropriate racism. And revealing torture and sex, because sadly, the internet exists for both those things. What a time we live in. Okie dokie. So last time, in between managing to convince one of the fairy royalty to take out a hit on you, Selina, you took the advance that gave you a jury of fae. Maybe we should talk a little bit about this.
Sure. What are the questions?
Well, do you have any thoughts on what they look like?
Oh,
are they...
I don't really have thoughts on what they look like, but like I figure, like, okay. I met them while in the Fae realm, and they're like also annoyed and frustrated by the king and queen, and they're like, unaligned to anyone as well. So we're a bunch of misfits banded together.
So we could theoretically run the whole gamut of all sorts of Fey-like critters that could be coming out from the Fey realm.
I mean, I'm okay with this.
Little
I'm sure that won't cause chaos.
insect-winged pixies and
Goblins and stuff.
talking animals and yeah.
Yeah, and some are like, humanoid and stuff, I'm sure. I always imagine it like, I mean, yeah, that could work, but like I always thought it was like the Fae, like, I guess like, well, the gang rules. So like, if it was like Monsterhearts in modern day, like they would be also like schoolmates and stuff, but or it could pass, or it could shift into that stuff.
Yeah, I think we'll try and make sure the majority of them work close to that, but maybe there's a couple extra in there.
Yeah, totally.
Fun.
I'm all for talking creatures that shouldn't be. Most people would not expect to talk.
Yeah, I love that. Years ago, I worked on a PBTA hack of that was supposed to do fairy tales, and talking animal was the first playbook I wrote. Okay. So Adam, you weren't around last week. Maybe we should pick up with you.
Great.
Yeah, great.
Sure, nothing terrible has been happening.
Lots of things have been happening. Most of them are terrible, except for Johnny. Johnny's doing great.
He's just so earnest and good. Nothing bad would probably happen to him.
Probably not. I mean, he can always escape into his undersea kingdom if he has his pelt, so. Which, by the way, you don't have anymore.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't need it. It's cool. I don't know where we should start with me.
Well, let me tell you a few things that have been happening recently. First, there's far more delicious air of fear in the air than there has been recently. How sensitive are you to otherworldly emanations?
I think he's a fair child. I think that he was already a little sensitive, and then he came back as an undead creature, and now it's very loud.
In that case, the veil is definitely getting very thin around these parts.
Great.
And the third thing is maybe you can run into Atalanta at night in the woods.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Heavily armed and hunting.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, I think question of whether he's wearing a shirt is up to the gods. And yeah, sure, Under the Moon sounds great. I think no one's really seen him around for the last, I don't know, how long has it been, a week?
Couple days, I think.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's wandering around in the woods, desolate and hungry. Yeah.
All right.
Atalanta, what are you doing? Are you hunting?
Yes, I am. I assume I'm still hunting, that I have not found Selina, and yeah, I think there are probably also other wolves in the woods, because my mother will have been found by this time, and probably all of the werewolves in the area are somewhat worked up.
Hi, Zoe. Now the cat is worked up. You said wolves and she got frightened. Yeah, I think while you're hunting, I think you just sort of come across him in a clearing, sort of disheveled and undone looking in the middle of the night.
Right, and I think I step out. I step out, and there's the moonlight falls on me as I step into a break in the trees, and I say, "These woods are not safe tonight, Adam. It would be best if you returned home.
Adam slowly turns and looks at you and says, "Oh, are you afraid that I'll get killed?"
Or even if you were not killed, you might do harm to someone. Either way, it would be best if that were avoided.
He crosses the clearing kind of slowly, looking at you, and you can tell that he's like, you've never really seen him like this before. He's normally so collected and calm. He looks very on edge and kind of wild. And he walks up to you and says, "Anything in these woods should be more afraid of me than I am of it."
And Atalanta just sort of gives a feral grin. And like, no.
I mean, obviously not you, Atalanta.
I'm glad you make an exception. Yes.
Well, we've always been friends.
Yes. And if this were not such a personal matter, I would welcome your help. But this is something I must do alone.
Yes, what are you hunting?
I'm hunting someone who betrayed me.
Oh, someone. Not something.
Yes. I hope that I can set things right still.
He... I don't think he has any real interest in helping you hunt. Yeah, I think he... Johnny. I think he tips the hat that he is not wearing and says, "Well then, happy hunting."
And I think Atalanta steps out of the moonlight, and within seconds, she's just gone. I mean, you're good at seeing in the dark, but
Gone.
yeah.
Cool. Into it.
So is Zoe, apparently.
She's got a lot of feelings. Can I help you?
All right.
I'm going to mute just so that she's not singing through other people's scenes.
So yeah, maybe we should find out where Johnny is, because you're a vagabond. What are you doing this fine moonlit night?
Well, I'm obviously out. I'm trying to remember I just have a rather unpleasant run-in with Atalanta, where she shot me. No, it just struck me.
No. You took a swing at me, and I left you laid out on the ground unconscious.
Right. There we go. That's where it was. So yeah, the last place I think I'm probably like coming to sort of like, I guess, like at the edge of the, if you remember the map, it's like kind of at the edge. We were coming to me and David's character were coming down off the head when we ran into Atalanta. So I think I'm just kind of like, as the moon is up, I think I'm coming to.
Cool. The blue lights are hovering over the head again.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm like kind of groggy, and I shake my head and I see them, and I feel like they're like beckoning to me. And so I turn back onto the head to see what's up with the blue lights. And I think here's maybe the play if you're gonna let me do this. I think I'm kind of like drifting in this like vague, sort of like fuzzy, maybe mildly concussed state. And I'm sort of like going up the head towards the blue lights, and I'm like staring deeply into them and past them and at like the dark water beyond them. And I gaze into the abyss to find out what about them feels like home.
Into it.
So I should roll the dice now, right? That's what happens when you gaze into the abyss. That is I think, hopefully a 7? A 7, yes. I have +1 dark.
So, you came to the surface world because you're a voyager and an explorer, right?
Yeah, I just want to know more. I'm curious.
You recognize in the blue lights a similar spirit.
There's like an animating spirit there.
You gaze into the abyss. You have a feeling, an impression.
I think I just start talking to the nearest blue light. And I think I what do I say? I say, why do you keep coming here? What do you like up here?
Several more begin to gather over you, and they're hovering somewhat ominously.
Like what's that? What makes it feel ominous? Is it like
they're sort of like clustering together and lowering like, a heavy cloud bank over you?
Yeah, I think I'm like gonna get closer to it. I think it's like my curiosity is like I'm just like what even are you? I like try to touch it.
I think you may need to keep your cool here.
Yeah. What am I afraid of? I'm afraid that these things are going to turn out to be less comforting than they may have felt initially.
That may be a fair guess.
And that is a terrible roll, which cannot be recovered, and it won't because I have a 0 cool. Whatever it is, it's a 5.
That's fantastic. Okay, so as you're watching and the lights get lower and lower, you hear a rustling in the woods next to you, and Rebecca and the Reverend Wilkins burst out of the woods, and they look at you. They see you in the clearing. They immediately grab you and start pulling you back into the woods.
Yeah, sorry, I missed the dance, Rebecca.
Where have you been? We've been out looking for you.
I got Atalanta kind of cold cocked me. I earned it.
Does everyone so with thou wet-limbed? What right have you to be walking upon my lands? And this is the Reverend. He's just muttering into himself.
Yeah, I think I'm sort of like let myself be kind of dragged along.
Cool. I think now we need to find out, Selina, how have you not yet been found by a bunch of werewolves that want to do you in?
Because I'm from the future and I know well enough to go to the Fairchilds because they protect the creatures like me. And also they have all those secret tunnels for, the railroad.
This is actually a pretty fair idea.
Yeah, I was like,
Adam, are you there when Selina arrived?
Oh, I think so.
Okay,
or
totally.
I think maybe we come out of the woods at the same moment on our way to the place.
I'm totally into that too.
I'm into it.
Great. Yeah, and he's still sort of looking disheveled and, wind blown in a very artful sort of Wuthering Heights way.
And Selina looking a bit like frantic and panicked. And she's just gonna rush right up to you to embrace you and hug you close, and like, oh, Adam, thank God. I need
What
your
happens
help.
when I feed? Because my hunger is affection from Selina, so I have a question.
Yeah. You get +1, right? Well, when you heedlessly pursue.
Yeah, no, I think he wraps his arms around you as you're talking.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like
In
not
like
only am I giving you affection, I'm also afraid. So
oh my God, this is great.
yeah, it's like a
I mean, it's awful that she's scared. Oh no. Yeah.
So what does feeding on people look like?
Gosh, what does it look like? I think he goes very quiet. And I don't think that anyone would notice anything particularly different about him until they see his eyes, because I think his eyes go like either white or black. Do they go white or black? He's a corpse. So they go white, like milky white. Yeah, and he's definitely feeding on her when this happens because he can't stop himself. Just gonna heedlessly pursue that and take a +1.
yeah, like Adam, please, thank God, I need you. I need your help. I need you to promise to help me and protect me. I'm pretty sure my life's in danger.
Cool. He has his, arms around you and his face kind of buried in your hair, and he's not even thinking. He just says, "Of course I'll protect you."
All right. Yes.
Enjoy that string.
I don't get it yet.
Oh no.
Only when you break the promise.
Oh yeah, that's right. Do I get something when I promise?
You get an XP.
I get an XP. Great.
Yep.
Cool. Sorry, I'm not breaking that one.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm okay with this.
Yeah, he says,
Unless you fail to protect.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, guess what does failing entail? I guess
if I get hurt, you fail.
Fair. So he, he doesn't like pull away from you or anything. When he like makes the promise, he's still got his arms wrapped around you, and like you can't see his face.
Okay, so makes sense. And she's like totally like looking into the woods, and like we've got to get inside. Your house is much safer. The manor is much safer.
He sort of pulls a little bit away from you, and like is keeping his eyes down, and then glances towards the woods. And I guess you can probably see his eyes if you are like paying attention.
Okay, and yeah, no, she'll totally like reach up to lift grab, well, touch your cheek to pull your head back as she looks in your eyes. Doesn't really say anything, but like, I mean, she already hinted that she knew that like something was different as it was. So.
Yeah, I think he grabs hold of her hand, and his hand is like bone cold.
Oh yeah.
Just sort of like the rest of him.
Yeah. It's not like she's never dealt with another ghoul before, back in the 40s.
Back in the time. And I think oh yeah, no. He I'm gonna use the the ending trait.
Yes.
And he like looks deep into your eyes with his bony corpse-like stare. And he says, "I never thought that I would know warmth again when I died on that field. But you make me feel like it never happened. I'm going to roll with cold. She turned you on. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, no. Son of a whole actual son of a bitch.
I want to help you.
I rolled a 6. I did get a +1, so I could make that a 7. So yeah, I'll make that a 7.
All right,
You can choose one of the reactions.
I gotta pull up the thing. Thank you. Let's see. Yeah, no, like I just like reach, like you're taller than her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like she'll like get up on her toes to like just like wrap her arms around you and kiss you.
Yes. Great. So that happens. And I think when you look him in the face again, his eyes are back to normal.
Yeah, and so like when she pulls back, like she's like the hand comes down to your hand as like she's like stepping backwards to your house, as like her other arms pulling like the shoulder of whatever her torn up dress is down.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so take a string on me as I'm going to try to turn you on.
Oh, great. It's fine. It's good. Gosh, I have 5 strings on you.
Excellent. That is an 11. So
okay, awesome.
So you get to choose a reaction.
What is my trying to decide if I want to. Sure. Yeah, no, I think he follows after you very willingly. And the next thing that we see is him like leading you to his bedroom inside.
Okay.
Yeah. We can just do some sex moves.
Totally.
Yep.
That's fun. Okay. Okay, fun. Oh, good. You get to have a new hunger. So first thing, you can wipe out the affection from Selina hunger if you wish, because that condition is gone. Now, if you want to add it, you get to add a new hunger. So,
I could just leave that one.
You could. Nothing like if we've got multiple hollows, we might as well have multiple mortals too.
I don't know what you're talking about. He's not codependent. He's codependent. Yeah, no, I'll leave that. Buddy. Stop yelling at the ceiling.
Oh, right. And you get to, and Selina gets to ask you to make a promise.
Yeah, and like as they're like lying with the sheets, carefully covering them, like post glow, she's looking deep in your eyes, and she says, "Promise you'll stop Atalanta."
And he's sort of like half asleep. He says, "Stop her from what?"
Just promise me.
And he looks at you in this hopelessly puppy dog romantic way. And he says, "I would give you anything. I promise."
All right. Get another XP.
I'll take that. Thanks.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Achievement unlocked. Sleep with all the PCs.
That's her whole jam.
But I think she's trying to kill me.
I mean, we had a sex ritual in Kingsport 1692. I don't think we had as much sex in this.
We did. It's a lot. Well, it was a ritual before. It needed something more than just falling into people's arms.
I don't know where to go from here.
Yeah, like I think that's where like I want the scene to end. Like I think she's trying to kill me. So
okay. So The next day is yet another of the Centennial Club's meetings because we're in the long days of June now, and the Centennial is coming. So first, Atalanta, do you show up in mourning?
Yeah, I think I pretty much have to be wearing mourning.
Caesar Rowcliffe is as well.
And yeah, and I think I approach Caesar, and I look at him with narrow eyes, and it's like, your role in this will be addressed.
Atalanta, my dear, I am so sorry about what happened to your mother. She was an esteemed mother to our people. And you're correct. We shall get to the bottom of all of this when we have conclave later.
Yeah. And I think I nod and leave it at that.
Okay. Adam, I guess you show up when you see Caesar and Atalanta having a tense conversation.
Sorry, I missed what you said. I got a little lag for a second.
I guess you show up at the club just in time to see Atalanta and Caesar having a tense conversation, and they're both dressed in mourning.
I think Adam looks much more put together than he has recently because he just fed a lot. And he walks up to Atalanta and Caesar and says, I am so sorry for your loss.
And Atalanta says, thank you. The outpouring of affection means so much to my family.
He says, this is a tragic time for Kingsport, and I do certainly hope that we will see nothing of its like anytime soon again.
Yes, I can't imagine any other death would affect Kingsport as much as this one has. My mother was such a presence in the town.
He puts one cold hand on your shoulder and says, the loss of any person in our community makes us less, Atalanta.
Yes. But, of course, there is always some loss of one kind or another. It is the way of the world.
He says, of course. And I do hope that that we don't have to face such a tragedy in either your or my lifetime again. And certainly not to someone as near and dear as your mother was to you.
That is such a lovely aspiration.
I know I would be heartbroken would anyone close to me be taken in such a way.
You have such a kind soul.
And he like looks at you and says, most of the time.
Never seen someone go from like John Donne to to Clint Eastwood in one brief conversation.
It's amazing what a woman can do to you.
So, Johnny, I guess you arrive with the Reverend and Rebecca.
I guess so.
Probably with new clothes, including a shirt.
It doesn't fit me so well, I think, and so the collar is just like hangs down a little low, like it's a little loose.
Of course.
Maybe off my shoulder a little bit. Like how is as we in like the minutes or like the time it takes to walk from wherever we were to the meeting. How like what's the attitude of Rebecca and the Reverend towards me? Rebecca more specifically.
The Reverend is grumpy because he's, going on 200 years old. Is usually in a bad mood. Rebecca, I think says something's gone wrong. I don't know what it is yet, but can't you feel it? That buzzing in the air?
There's something. The air feels... It's like drier. Maybe. Or wetter. Yeah. Something. I can't put my finger on it.
Yes.
And I sort of like... Yeah, sure.
Adam appears sort of next to you and says, "The veil is thin."
I look at him quizzically. Quizzical look.
The veil is thin. The space between worlds.
Well, that's all very well for you to say, Adam Fairchild. Our people have taken care of themselves for a long time. Thank you very much.
He draws himself up and looks at her and says, "Well, pardon me for offering you any guidance at all. Best of luck in the days ahead."
Why is everyone so... Like, I turn to Rebecca as, I guess, Adam is walking away. Is that sort of what that was?
He may be walking away, or maybe if you want him to still be there, I'm totally down with him.
I think you hear this either way, whether you're like... So, mm-hmm. I say, he didn't... When he said good luck, he didn't mean that, right?
No, my dear sweet seal boy, he did not.
Why would he say that? Adam, and like, because you're still right there, why did you wish her good luck?
He hungers for something. I don't know what he hungers for yet, but something. He's trying to get rise out of us.
Oh.
I am doing no such thing. I am merely comporting myself with the manners appropriate to my station.
It's very confusing,
Pray
Adam.
That we don't...
Well, given that your companion was so rude to me, I saw it only fit to be rude in return.
So what are these other worlds?
The Fey realm, the underworld, heaven.
Heaven?
All manner of things.
Heaven. Well... Maybe that's the next stop, but like there's stuff going on here. Anyway, I just wish you wouldn't, and this is to both of them. Like there's just no reason to talk like that. And I think
Adam,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say
no, go ahead.
Like I think in that moment I'm like have this like deep longing for like the transparency of my people, and that like comfort, or like I understand how people like I understand how those interactions work, and I'm starting to get it here. I felt good about catching the sarcasm, but like it's all just very strange, and I just miss knowing what's going on, and I feel really homesick, which allows the MC.
Yeah, I think Adam sees how uncomfortable you are, and you see like, because you're such a like empathic little nugget of a person, you sort of see the like facade crumble a little, and he looks at you and says, "I'm sorry, Johnny. You're right."
I sort of like I kind of open my arms as like to invite a hug. But I sort of leave it up to, I'm not going to just embrace you without.
I think Adam looks a little uncomfortable, but like wraps his arms around you in a very like manly, soldierly kind of way, a little more brusque than you are.
Right, I'm kind of tender.
Yeah, you're a tender, soft baby.
Yes, yes. But meanwhile, I am still homesick, and the ocean's breath is going to either bring something that makes me feel better, that thinks will make me feel better, or takes away something it thinks is bothering me.
So as you embrace, a shadow falls over you. They shadow over Bird, but as you watch Johnny, you realize this is a quite enormous bird, and finally it settles down in front of you. It's a great auk.
I exclaim in wonder.
It just cocks its head at you, and just assume right now that it's just following you around.
How big is a great auk? I do not know.
Well, actually, I don't remember if they were extinct at this point, but they had a huge wingspan.
Cool. I think I like.
Oh, actually, I was thinking one of the extinct species of albatross, not this one. This is a penguin. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like that looks like happy.
Yeah, there's an extinct species of albatross that had a huge wingspan.
Okay. Anyways, so
we're just gonna go straight to albatross because.
Oh, lovely! Because the ocean knows I want to be carrying an albatross around with me. That's always a good sign.
You were lonely, so it sent you a friend.
I sort of like squat down and like look it in the eye. So I'm like looking at it in its profile because of how bird eyes are, and like I sort of like do one eye. I look in that one eye that's facing me, and I say, "Hey, friend."
It looks back at you, and then it looks at Adam, and if a bird could frown, it would.
Adam looks it in the face and says, "What did I do?"
I sort of gently pet its head. He seems like a nice friend.
Why am I being abused by a bird?
He doesn't seem like he means any harm. How is the Reverend Wilkins reacting to this bird? I'm curious. Or has he sort of made himself scarce?
I think he looks at the bird and it's like, "Oh, you're back," and walks away.
I mean, I think that's sort of like the end of this exchange, right?
Yeah, I think so. So I guess Selina stayed home at the at Stately Fairchild Estate, huh?
Yeah, sounds about right.
That's fantastic.
Have to deal with the other Fairchild. I guess.
I guess you probably we need to see some of the members of your jury, huh?
Totally, I'm okay with this.
All right, so you're just hanging out. You're probably not even in the parlor. You must be down in one of the hidden basement rooms, right?
Unless Adam brought me up to the room for the night, so I don't know what happened this morning. But
All right. That's true. I guess the werewolves are going to mostly hunt you during the night. So you're sitting in the parlor, and then suddenly there's two of your jury with you. One is Glyn, who is a very tall, very thin, very flighty, very silly elf, of course. And the other is a red cap by the name of Barblow, who's just sitting there sharpening his scythe.
Oh, I will hug them both. Thank them for.
Hey, get off. I'm taking quite a risk coming here with you.
Well, I mean, we feel like we take risks every day, don't we? Every moment.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if the queen finds out I've left her service, she'll be upset.
Well, I mean, when is she not upset?
That's fair.
Yeah, see? Besides, you knew that it's far better to serve yourself than someone else.
I mean, I don't actually know that. I've never served myself before, so I'm taking your word on this, Selina.
Isn't it exciting to find out?
I mean, fair. And Glyn is just looking around like, oh my god, is this stuff original? This is vid. Is this vid? No, this is. I have never seen such a collection of kitsch in one place. I mean, if it was the right time, there'd be Hummel figurines everywhere.
I presume. I mean, it's not my place. I don't know.
Well, what's the plan, Selina? Dish girl.
Well, I mean, the plan is to, keep doing what we do, survive and outwit others.
Okay. So you have a plan for how to deal with the queen, right? I mean, you've been running for the queen for a long time, so you must have a plan, right?
Well, of course I do.
That's great. I like plans.
Yeah, we just provide a distraction.
And
give her something else to focus on.
And planks. I like a lot of things that start with pla.
Yes, you do. And we'd like you for it.
Well, so wait, you want her to focus on someone else?
Well, I mean, she's currently indebted to me with a promise, and I'm sure she doesn't enjoy that.
How precise were you on extracting that promise?
Oh, she did it accidentally.
I think they both look at each other like, uh-huh.
She didn't realize what she was saying when she promised that we would get through this. So,
did she say something like together?
I think so.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but I'm sure she doesn't want that. But just giving it up, that would be like a crime. That'd be upsetting. But also, if we get something else to distract her entirely from us, then we won't have to worry as much. So.
Oh, good. So, what should I do? I mean, I got some elf shots, so I could poison some cows. Do you need me to kidnap any babies? I kidnap babies really well.
No, I don't think we need to go that far, because we don't want to rile up the locals too much. But I'm thinking maybe we send out some rumors to some of her rivals that, to stir some trouble for her back home.
Wait, which rivals?
I mean, I'm thinking Mob. She'd be pretty good.
Maybe. They're both. Glyn is sort of like, she and I have a kind of thing.
So you know her.
Yeah. I mean, that's a thought. Let's stick with that thought.
Okay, well.
Okay. I mean, so no, not poisoning cows or stealing babies. So, okay, yeah, Queen Mab. How do you want to do that?
Carefully.
That's good. That's good. I mean, bringing her is a fairly dark ritual. Are you that dark? I mean, Barblau is. Barblau is like, yeah, I am.
But together, I think we're dark enough together. So,
I mean, do you know anybody really dark? Do you know any Walking Dead? Because they would be really useful for something like this.
I do. As a matter of fact, I do.
That's good. I knew we could count on you, Selina. See, I told you, Barblau, everything's going to be fine. They're both just still looking at each other nervously.
Look, I mean, it's either that or we just get her some idiotic humans to promise her much more than she'd want from us. So,
do you know any idiotic humans?
I mean, every human's an idiot. So, yes.
I mean, it's a relative scale, honey. I've known some very interesting humans with wonderful sense of design. I mean, there was Beethoven. He was also very dark. I mean, just saying.
Yes, artists are very tortured.
Do you know any artists? I like artists.
Well, there's plenty of people to choose from. So.
Okay. So do you want us to do anything else, like defend the house or something?
Well, I might need your help should I need to go into town, so...
We're going to go into town? Do we have outfits picked out?
We can try a few things on. You might need to glamour yourselves up for the plebes.
Should I wear a dress or a suit? Maybe I should wear both.
So, because I mean, there's more than just the queen I'm worrying about right now. But
wait a minute, what? There's more than just
some werewolves are after me. I don't really know why.
Werewolves? Okay, that's good. Wait,
but I really only have to worry about them at night. And
just
if I'm here at night, then I'll be fine.
Just so that I can clear on one or two small but salient details. Is it also true that the king is not a fan of yours either?
Well, I didn't swear to either of them, so they're both annoyed.
Okay, that's good. That's fine.
But he didn't make the mistake of promising me something, so...
Well, if you can get him some pastrami, that usually helps. I don't know why. I don't know what pastrami is. Wait, is it one of those little gnomes?
No, I know what pastrami is.
Is it one of those little angels that they put on the... No,
it is. It's meat.
Okay. Meat. So, all right.
Not difficult to get.
Okay. So cool. Cool.
Yep. This is fine.
Cool. These are well thought out plans. Excellent. All right. So it sounds like you're going to be pinned down for most of the day, and I do want to catch up with. Yeah, let me catch up with Atalanta. Aha! So it doesn't exist yet. Oh, the poor king. I mean, he'll have to have some substitute smoked meat. Perhaps in this period, he likes corned beef.
Right.
Okay, so I'm thinking maybe around evening, as the full moon begins to rise, you guys go to the conclave?
Sure.
Cool. So that has to be closer to Dunwich. So how's your father been taking this whole thing?
I think he's sort of crushed, and he's probably a little bit in shock. He hasn't sort of been looking at, well, this doesn't make sense, in that it actually doesn't make sense, but he hasn't quite figured that out yet. So it's like, yes. So I've been telling him, oh, this is the Rowcliffe's fault, and he's sort of, it's like it's going in one ear and out the other.
And he has a damaged leg, right?
He lost an arm in this.
Right. So, cool. All right. So you arrive at the rock in a clearing in the forest, and is your father and your family still high in precedence in the werewolf clans?
I think formally we are, but it's in terms of actual influence, our formal precedence doesn't translate entirely into.
So it might be more ceremonial at this point.
Right. Still, we still have like a lot of formal status, but in terms of informal status, in terms of who people listen to, we have less than we used to, and that's largely because my father is physically not as impressive as he used to be.
All right, very good. So he strides up to the rock, and he says, "We meet tonight in formal conclave, in mourning for our lost sister, in the honored traditions of Adam, our first father, and Verity, our first mother. Those who wish to transform may now do so." And then he just leans over to you and says, "You must continue, daughter."
The loss of one of our own is always a tragic event, but in this instance, where the death was apparently caused by those of our own, justice must be done. The perpetrators must be found out, and I am looking at the Rowcliffes.
I think Ferdinand, the Rowcliffe paterfamilias, just crosses his arms like, "Winter's Grill, I don't know what you mean. We had nothing to do with the death of your mother. She was one of our sisters in the pack. You know that if we were going to hunt one of our own, we would have to meet and discuss it."
If it were done according to the traditions of the pack, yes. But some of the younger members of the community, and her eyes flicker towards Caesar, do not always follow our traditions. I am sure that none of the elders would countenance such a thing. I do not mean to suggest that this was done with premeditation or forethought. Yet she was torn to pieces by apparently those of our kind.
What proof do you have of this, girl?
The proof of her wounds.
Okay. Why don't we call that, mechanically, I think we can treat this as shutting someone down, because you're sure being cold here.
Okay, yeah, let's roll with my terrible stat. That'll be fine.
All it will do is it will lead to experience and consequences, which are both good.
And I got a 2.
Your streak is alive. Ferdinand just says, "I reject your evidence. I call for, by the rights of our people, the traditions of Adam and Verity, that this be settled through combat."
I accept the challenge.
Good. Caesar, bring me back this bitch's ears. So, I guess there's going to be a fight in the pale moonlight between two werewolves.
Yeah. Okay, so how are we handling this? This is just a lot, just immediately go to lash out physically?
Let me just think about this for a second. I think you transform.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So the two of you are circling each other, and I think it's going to be it's going to have to first be a keep your cool thing, because you've got to keep the wolf instinct banked low enough that you can fight smart, because Caesar is very tough and very clever. His family have always been the kind of backstabbing, backbiting kind.
All right. 5.
Do you have a string on Caesar?
I do not.
Okay. Sadly, he has one on you. Okay, cool. So Caesar comes in first. You weren't expecting him to make his leap when he did, and he rolls you over pretty quick. He's trying to bite at you, but he's not quite there yet because you're scrambling.
Okay. Well, I'm going to scramble out of the way and try to get a little bit of distance so I can regroup.
Okay. Let's call that keep your cool, but roll with volatile.
7.
That's good. All right, so you scramble away, but he's got you penned up close to the speaker's rock, but you have enough space now that you can make an attack if you wanted to.
Oh, absolutely.
I invite you to roll.
10.
Finally. That's awesome. So he's not going to get back in or teach you anything. That's just a solid hit. Tell me about what that looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I think my teeth rake at his side, and there's a long bloody wound along his flank. It's dripping blood into the clearing, and now I have a string on Caesar because I did him harm physically.
Yes, you do. Cool. Is this enough to end the fight? Or do you?
I mean, it's enough that he could submit if he chose, or he could keep fighting. I think another blow like that would probably be enough to end the fight.
Okay. I think you would have to spend that string to make him quit. Otherwise, he'll just fight to the death.
All right, I'll spend the string. That's
all right.
fine.
Okay, then. So the Rollcliffe gamble did not pay off, and Caesar's pretty messed up when he transforms back. He's bleeding pretty badly, and his parents drag him away. So what do you want to tell the pack to do? You've told them that it was the Rollcliffes who did this.
Well, I got an advance during that fight, so I'm going to take the wolf pack move, and I think like a bunch of the younger wolves are now looking to me as their leader. So some influence is shifting from the Row Cliffs towards us. And also later I am going to go to Ferdinand privately, and I'm going to suggest that things could be patched up if a certain provision got into a certain railroad bill that's going through the legislature.
So you're not going to order the hunt for the 3 nights of the full moon?
No.
Okay. But yes, you do have several wolf blades on your side now. This is amazing. I've never seen so many gang moves taken in one of ours. We almost never take those. All right. This seems like the appropriate time for us to take 5, I think, and be back in a few. So let's do that, and I'll see you all shortly. Okay. So, where shall we pick off now? We've got rival gangs ready to fight each other. This turned into West Side Story so quickly that none of us noticed it. I mean, come to think of it, we've got a Romeo and Juliet reference going now with Queen Mab, so. Okay. So, Fiona, you around?
I am.
Cool. I was thinking of doing something with Adam to start.
Great. What should Adam do? I think he's going to. He's Adam. He's going to confront Atalanta. Mm-hmm.
This is great.
Yeah. I think it's going to go super well. So he, I don't know. I think he does the gentlemanly thing. I think he goes to Atalanta's estate. Formally, like he sends a calling card ahead, kind of thing. And then he shows up. He brings some sort of tasteful gift, like a bottle of wine or something like that. And then he is, sitting in your parlor when you come down.
Yes, and I'm sitting in the chair that my mother always sat in when she played host.
Mm.
And I'm dressed in full mourning.
Yeah. Great. So when you come in, he obviously stands, he bows over your hand, he sits down, makes small talk about the state of your gardens and your mother and your mourning and all the things. And then eventually he comes around to the point. And while you're sitting there with him, he says, "So as much as I hate unpleasantness, I did come to discuss something in particular."
Yes, I imagined as such from our conversation earlier at the Century Club. You're concerned about dear Selina, aren't you?
I am.
It's not always wise to get involved in other people's disputes.
He puts his cup of tea down, sits back in his chair, and laces his fingers together and says, "My dear Atalanta, I'm a fair child."
Yes. I suppose an appeal to wisdom is futile, isn't it?
I wouldn't say futile, but when we get an idea into our heads, it's very hard to get it out again.
And how much has Selina told you?
She has told me that she is afraid. of you. And I, being me, would like for that not to be so.
And has she told you of her involvement with my mother's death?
He sits back and he looks at you and says, she hadn't mentioned it.
I thought perhaps not. She keeps her secrets and likes to manipulate others.
He picks up his tea and says, I find most women do.
I prefer to be straightforward. My dispute is with Selina, not with you. And as long as you do not interfere between us, it will remain between Selina and myself.
He takes another sip of tea, puts his cup down again, and says, I have promised her that I won't let anything befall her. And so if your quarrel is with her, then it is also with me.
Well, I will endeavor not to put you in a position where you are forced to break your word, or where I am forced to prevent you from keeping your word.
He he says, this has been a lovely talk. And he stands up and turns to leave the room and says, then he turns back and he looks at you and says, I would rather not be at odds with you, friend, but I have chosen my side.
Tell Selina that the honorable thing to do would be to release you from your promise and settle matters herself.
He gives a very courtly small bow and then turns and leaves the room. Now I'm going to go talk to Selina.
Be my guest.
Great. Selina, are you still at my place?
But what's Johnny up to?
Oh, yeah. What is Johnny up to? Are you just trying to weasel out the boyfriend yelling?
No,
But
it is funny.
Yeah, no, what
to
is...
do.
Yeah, let's all right, let's check in on Johnny. What is Johnny up to?
Johnny's a little lost at the moment.
But you've got a bird friend.
Johnny has a bird friend that he does not know what to do with. I think Johnny goes down to the beach for a swim. Maybe his bird friend is kind of like circling over his head in a way that is not at all ominous or pretentious.
Not even a little bit.
Albatrosses flying over your head don't indicate anything.
I mean, you're safe. It's only unlucky for people.
That's fair. And I think what I do is I just dive down deep underwater, stare into the gaze into the abyss and ask, how can I get back where's my pelt? I gotta roll.
Yes, you do.
It's a 7. This being a little bit dark has been helpful.
You see your pelt being dragged through the woods in the mouth of a wolf covered in blood.
Trying to decide if I know what that means. I think I swim back to the shore, pull on my pants, toss my shirt over my shoulder, and make my way to the forest. near
Oh, good.
as near the Fairchild estate as I can, given that that's the last place I knew it was.
Oh, so good.
Very literal minded is Johnny.
How good a tracker are you?
Terrible.
Okay.
I mean, look. It depends on what we're talking about here, right? Like, if the forest is badly just like, I could probably recognize the sign, the signs of the fight, but if they're like quietly trying to move, like if they didn't leave obvious tracks, I'm probably not gonna recognize them.
Yeah, they're not. I would suspect the werewolf conclave is not being subtle about this right now. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of signs of large dogs or wolves having passed through this area. Which is strange because they keep telling you that there are no wolves in the area anymore.
Yeah. People keep lying. This is this is what I am realizing. I sort of picked it up. People lie for all kinds of reasons, straight to each other's faces, even when they know they're lying. It's like a way of telling the truth. It's very strange. Yeah, I mean, I think I sort of try and see if I can follow. Like, is there any kind of like? I think I'm just like thinking about the blood, right? And I'm sort of like, is there blood around? This is not a game for investigation.
No, it isn't.
It
Well,
is
I don't know.
not.
Do you have a biology spend you can make?
This is not.
I
Hold
think
on.
you can track it in at least to a way that you know it's headed towards the Winters estate.
Yeah, I think I
But
just
it's
like.
also headed sort of towards the Rollcliffe estate. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just gonna go to the Winter Estate. I haven't talked to Atalanta in a while. She roughed me up pretty bad. And I feel like, well, like it's sort of like, oh, we should probably have a talk about that. Um, and I sort of like I pull my shirt on, kind of sloppily tuck it in, and approach, like, knock on the door.
Yeah, and I think the maid answers the door, and when you tell her that you want to talk to Atalanta, she comes to me, and I have the maid bring you right in.
I say, I'm sorry. I pushed your buttons the other night, Atalanta. I mean,
You didn't push my buttons, Johnny. You hit me, and I hit you back. The matter is done with.
yeah,
At least as far as I'm concerned. Just don't do it again. It's foolish.
I'm glad to hear. I forgive you for the pain you caused also.
Yes. I'm so glad that you came, Johnny. I had a favor I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Yes. You see, I found this object, and I open up a box, and you see your pout for an instant before I snap the lid shut.
And I think you see like a look of joy and hunger and fear on my face all at once. And I'm like, how did you get that? I thought Adam had that.
Adam had it, and then Selina took it. You didn't know that, did you? Selina is not as trustworthy as she would like you to believe. And then I took it from her.
You took it back for me? I didn't think we were that good friends, Atalanta. I really appreciate it. Can I have it?
Well, of course you can have it as soon as you do me one little favor.
It's always just one.
Yes, just one. All I want to do is I want to have a little private conversation with Selina. And she's making it very difficult. She's hiding in the Fairchild house. She's gotten the Fairchilds involved. She won't let the two of us be together. And all you have to do is arrange for me and her to be together alone, and you do me this favor, and I will do you, and I will return your pelt, a favor for a favor.
Sure. Sure. Since we're such good friends, I know.
Oh, you can trust that I'll keep it very safe. Much more secure than Adam or Selina did.
I don't really want it safe, Atalanta. I want it back.
And you'll have it back just as soon as you do me this little favor.
I said I'd do it.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Remind me not to get on Atalanta's bad side.
But I'm also gonna spend a string to give Atalanta a condition. And that condition is bitch.
How strangely appropriate.
You're so literal, Johnny.
I don't say that to you. You should know. This is a condition
Yes,
that's
yes, yes.
But yes, Johnny is extremely literal. Yes.
Oh, my children, what have I done?
Stephen, you played the best Monsterhearts villains, by the way. I just want to put that out there. You're very good at this.
I mean, I didn't mean to be a villain. I'm just trying to make things right.
And that's why you're the best.
Right.
Hey, come to think of it, you were a little villainous when we did Kingsport 69 together. But that was more innocent villainy.
I was.
And Eben Carnival too.
That. Yeah, I was. Yes. Wow. It's just. This is where the story is taking me.
Well, this is terrible. I honestly don't know what to. Oh wait, we want to see.
Selina, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
want to see Adam.
Talk to
Selina.
And I think maybe if depending on where the scene goes, I maybe enter at the end of it.
Oh,
Right.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
Assuming the fiction, like, it makes sense.
Yeah. Into it. Yeah, I think you're still at my place, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Parlor, having tea with friends.
Great. I think I come into the house in a way that sort of feels like thunder walking through a doorway.
Oh my.
And I walk into the parlor and I see your friends and I say, my most sincere apologies to all present, but I do have to ask for a moment alone with Selina. If there is a pause.
There is. I mean, Selina looks a bit confused, and to the others. And
I look at all the others.
Yeah.
Selina, who is the boy?
I look at the other people in the room.
We are guests of his. He's very dear to me.
Are delicious, my boy. Delicious. Have you ever thought about, I don't know, doing a couple 100 years of service and to an elf.
No, bad. Go get.
I just lick my teeth at them.
All right, Glenn and Barblau fade away.
Like literally just fade out of existence.
They literally fade away.
Great. Well,
What's the matter?
that was
You okay?
unsettling. He walks across. Are you? What's that?
Well, I guess she'll rise up as but as you said, that was unsettling. Like, I really don't think you have the proper leg to judge, darling.
He walks across the room to meet you and says, I'm going to ask you one time. Did you have anything to do with the death of Atalanta's mother?
Her mother's dead?
He leans back a little steps back from you and says,
And this is out of game wise. As far as I'm aware, Selina never knew. She ran away from the Fairy King straight to the Fairchilds. And that's when the Fairy King said to Atalanta, what happens next is on her head.
Right.
Okay, so as far as I'm aware, Selina doesn't know that the mother died.
Great. He looks at you and says, I guess not.
What? What? Wait. What?
Atalanta wants to kill you because she thinks you're responsible for her mother's death.
I thought she was. God, she's such a stupid bitch.
Adam looks honestly horrified at that word.
I thought when we had a fight, it was because I had slept with Johnny after sleeping with her.
Adam's face. So shocked.
Look, I'm from the future, so this isn't as big for me.
What?
Do you trust me?
Adam sits down and says, yes.
All right, well, don't let go of my hand. I'm tired of, and she'll mutter under her breath, I'm like, I don't want to lose another one. I will spend a string and take you across the veil.
Oh, great. Fabulous. It's going great. Having a weird day.
So don't let go as she squeezes, keeps your hand held.
This is fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
I brought Atalanta here when we were having a bit of a tense conversation, and she did let go and ran off and apparently made a deal with another fairy. I don't know what happened to her mother, but I presume it has something to do with that.
One with, and he's gripping your hand so hard. Says, one would assume.
What do you look like in the fairy realm?
I think
Alive.
I think alive.
Oh.
Yeah. Rosy and alive and vibrant.
So that's, and also I'm not from your time period.
Just still holding your hand, and his hand is warm.
Yep.
Great. When are you from?
The 40s.
The 8.
No, that's the past, dear.
Oh, right. You said the future. I apologize. I'm having a bit of a...
I understand. I forgive you. I mean, your Fairchilds know enough about this, so that's why I'm comfortable telling you. Plus, you're a very protective family.
He like turns to you and says, "Yes, we are. Did you know us in the future?"
Yes. Yeah, and that's when like she sort of shuts down.
Can we go back?
Yeah. Yes, of course. So.
You go back. He immediately pours himself a stiff drink and comes back and sits down and is like, and he like, "Are you standing up or are you sitting next to him?"
Yeah, she'll sit next to him.
He like
she'll have like another glass at the ready in which she's sipping from.
Yeah, he looks you in the face, gathers both your hands together in your lap and says, "I won't let anything happen to you."
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's the perfect time for Johnny to show up.
Yeah, sounds great.
So I walk in and I say to Selina, Atalanta wants to kill you because she thinks you're responsible for her mother's death.
Oh. Good evening, Johnny. I just found out. Thank you.
She's asked me to arrange a meeting.
Well, I do not want that. Why did she ask you? Well, I guess since you're not as involved. Are you okay?
She has something. No. She has something I need very badly.
But what does she have?
Something that belongs to me.
Wait. Your pelt.
Yeah, the thing that you had. Took real good care of it. Sorry, I'm learning your horrible habits. You took terrible care of it.
He takes another drink.
That was I didn't.
It's all right.
Sorry that she got it off of me. I guess
that's what she said.
I didn't know it was yours. Yeah, it smelled. It felt so nice. It reminded me of someone.
I have a minor breakdown, and everything changes.
Look, at this point, I think I've learned quite enough about this little town. Just talk to her, please.
But she wants to kill me for something I had no control over. She tried to have me imprisoned and enslaved to a fairy king.
I tried to explain to her why it wasn't your fault and demonstrate it, and she left me bleeding on the side of the road.
I would not let that. I won't let that happen.
Promise?
Yes. If you're tired of this town, I could take you elsewhere. I don't know if you'd like it much. I would not recommend it.
I just want to go home.
This
all I want, Selina, is to go home. I'm inviting the ocean in again, incidentally.
Yeah, I just want to like go up and hug you, but go for it.
Yeah.
There is no comfort or support in this game, so
Nope.
Well, I meant to mention if we're in session 3, so if folks want to take the adult moves with an advance, I'm totally okay with that. So technically,
are you still bruised, Johnny? Like,
I'm bleeding. I've probably got. She smacked me in the face pretty good. I think
right.
my
nose
isn't.
At least try to like help you, tend to your wounds.
How do you do that? What's that look like?
Well, I mean, then sit down, and she's gonna use some of the alcohol to clean the cut. Yeah, let's go. Of course, there's gonna be erotic subtext as she'll sit on your lap.
How's Adam responding to this?
Adam's finding out so many things.
Adam's having a moment.
Adam's having a whole moment. And then I think Adam remembers that you slept together. And then Adam has another moment. And then Adam goes and gets more alcohol.
If you leave,
yeah,
I think we'll miss you, John. I'll miss you at least.
I appreciate that, but
where is home for you?
Somewhere else, somewhere deep and far.
I'll help you. But...
here's how you can help me, Johnny. No, I'm Johnny. Here's how you can help me, Selina. You can talk to Atalanta.
Where?
Probably somewhere public. Maybe just show up to Century Club tomorrow.
If this is what you want, if this will help you, then okay, fine.
Thank you, Selina. And I lean in and just kiss you on the cheek. It's definitely not just like a peck. It's like a kind of soft, tender cheek kiss, but it's still a cheek kiss.
Okay. Are you trying to turn me on?
No, I'm sort of it was like an invitation for you to respond or not.
Okay. Okay. She smiles softly, but looks over to Adam to see how he's coping.
He's just sitting on the couch and clearly having a separate experience right now.
Well, if I'm sure there's better ways that we could possibly spend this last night together.
You said that to me?
She says it out loud. I guess I'm rolling to turn both of you on. Both of you take a string, as that's very blatant.
Poor Adam.
Is that allowed as MC?
turn someone on is not an area of effect power, generally speaking.
We did this once before.
I
I
mean,
try to remember
sometimes it
how
can
it
be.
worked.
Sometimes
In
it can be.
62. We did this in
Sometimes you just spray
62.
pheromones into a room and
No, we definitely had exactly this scenario in 62. I'm trying to remember how it worked.
I have no idea.
I know there was
I
salt
think
that does
it's
that.
probably
So.
it's probably 2 rolls because
Yeah.
somebody
No
could
problem.
be into it and somebody might not be.
No problem.
Mhm.
I just know, like, yeah. Luckily, there's only 2 people in the room. If there was a lot more, I'm not rolling that many times.
No,
So the first roll is
ritual. The ritual is sex.
It is, in fact, the ritual is, in fact,
9,
sex.
10. First one was 13.
Great.
Who was that?
So I'll say,
It seems like it's Johnny.
Yeah,
okay,
it's kind of, I
first
mean,
one's for
Johnny was ready.
okay, and the second one is 6 plus 4, so it's a 10. So I'll get strings on each. Look, unashamed is I mean, I just keep giving you strings, so that's the downside, but
Yeah.
it gives me a chance to get that string back. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess sex boost trigger?
They do indeed.
yes.
I mean, I don't have to, do I? It's a weird threesome.
You don't have to. No,
Yeah.
you can. There are choices.
Well, you have choice.
There are
Yeah.
choices.
It's true. I have her choices that I can make.
You can act awkward.
I can act awkward. I'm trying to decide what Adam would do.
I mean, you do have a hunger for Selina's effect.
I do, right? Oh,
Yep.
I think I have a weird 1860s threesome.
So I guess if this is a promising feeding opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So to avoid it, you would have to keep your cool.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you have +2 cold, so
I
I'll
mean,
probably do
odds are decent odds.
that.
That's if you want to.
I rolled an 11.
Yeah, so.
I'm cool. Okay.
I mean, yep. Well, okay then.
All right.
Yeah.
I gotta. Well, I slept with Adam, so that's your sex move, right?
I'm actually gonna take the string on Atalanta. I think. I don't know if I get a choice. The way it's phrased, it's like on someone else they have slept with.
It's true.
I've had sex with. Doesn't say.
I've had sex with everyone now, so.
Yeah, I think
I've had sex with everyone.
Yep.
What is?
I'm going to take the. I'm going to take the Atalanta string.
All right. My promise is pretty simple. Please don't leave me. Promise you won't leave me.
Oh my god.
Oh, you're the worst. Oh my god.
No.
I mean, he can refuse it. I just get 2 strings on him.
No,
I'll
I
take
can't
that.
keep that promise. You know I can't keep that promise. I just told you. I'm not going to keep that. I'm not going to make that promise.
That's why I asked for it.
What nightmare have I woken up into?
I don't know.
So that all happens.
So we have done our job to prove that it's in fact wrong that sex did not begin in 1963.
No, it didn't. Fascinating.
Almost 100 years before.
However, they fuck you up your mom and dad sure seems to be in operation here. So.
That is accurate. Yeah. Yep. Let's see. I get to level up, so I'm going to see what I've got here.
I mean, you could take a pack. Everybody else has one.
Whatever the ghoul version is.
Not you, Johnny. Johnny, you're good.
I still have a broken promise on Johnny, too.
You do.
I mean, the ghoul version of a pack is a wreck this crew. So I think this whole game is his pack.
What's it called though? It is. Oh yeah, Reckless Clip. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna take a vampire move.
Oh, good God.
Oh yeah. And I'm torn with either the feeding or marked for the hunt.
They both work pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the feeding. It's gross and I love it. It's gonna make them very uncomfortable.
It's very on brand though for the ghoul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cat, you're right.
I mean, the good news is you guys have basically emceed the session yourself.
So, we want to go to the Century Club?
Yeah, I think at some point I communicate to Atalanta that you'll be there to talk to her, and that she should give me my pelt back.
So you're just gonna show up with your rival gangs?
Johnny, I told you that I wanted to talk to her alone, not in the Century Club. You haven't kept your promise yet.
When you're a jet all the way.
Sorry. Look, maybe you can get her alone there.
I will do my best, Johnny, and if I manage to get what I want, you'll get your pelt.
A girl like that, she killed your mother.
Did not. Slander.
You are very cruel, Atalanta.
I am hard. Life has made me hard.
You make your own choices.
I do. I am in control of my fate.
Then you don't need me or my pelt.
We have a bargain, Johnny. I'll keep my end of it. You should keep yours.
You sound like Selina.
Perhaps I'm learning from her.
Sorry. So I am. I'm gonna move for the pelt. I'm gonna move for the box.
I've hidden the box. You have no idea where I'm keeping the box now.
Right. I should have done it before if that's what I was gonna do. I think I just I guess that's scene. I can't think of something I want to. I can't think of a way to leverage this. So unless you have something you want to.
Do you have strings? Do you have strings on her?
I do. But I think I want to save them.
Fair enough. You might need to.
Yeah,
as a werewolf tearing out your throat tends to offend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna go to the Century Club, and I'm gonna guess at this point, since nobody's coming alone, the rival gangs are involved. Who's gonna be the Mercutio in this? I don't know. Okay, cool. So you guys show up at the Centennial Club, and wow. I almost need a moment here. So Harold, once it starts coming running up to you, Adam's like, Adam, I wanted to see you because I've got some. And he looks around and he's like, so, okay, I think you wait till after the meeting. Why don't you drop by the house afterwards, Adam? Chastity and I would be happy to see you.
I will.
I think Caesar's there, clearly messed up. But I'm wondering how many people are just going to start clearing away now. It's the tension in the air. You may cut it with knives. I wish. Spoiler alert.
There's so many knives.
It's 1185 and we're all barbarians. Take it away, gang.
Selena's just gonna walk right up to Atalanta and say, you want to speak to me?
Yes, I would prefer to do so alone where there are not so many witnesses.
Well, I'm sure you can
Adam,
understand why I'd prefer there be more people around.
I think, yeah.
Well, I can understand that, and I will give you my word that if you speak to me alone, I will do you no harm. Should you do me no harm, at least not without giving you a 5-minute head start.
Is that a
Will
promise?
that reassure you?
Is that a promise?
Yes, that is a promise.
Okay. Where do you want to speak?
Would my home be an acceptable option?
I don't think it would. Because you promised you wouldn't do me any harm.
I suppose the woods are out of the question as well. On the beach tonight?
Well, why don't we just go in to the office over there?
Very well. So go into the office. I lock the door.
Why are you telling people I'm responsible for your mother's death? I didn't even know she died until Adam came home yesterday.
And yet it was because you fled from the fairy queen that he set the hounds on my mother.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to be caged and imprisoned. So I'm responsible for the deal that you made with a fairy king? You stupid bitch. You realize how dumb that makes you sound? As I'm shutting you down and using your condition to help. Because I'm bad at cold.
Roll them bones, please.
So I got a 0. And it's a 5. All right.
Yep. Even with your strings, you can't do anything with that.
Well, no. I have the fairy contract.
Actually, it's a 6 with your +1 because using the condition. So if you spend the
Well,
string, it's a 7.
I have a -1 cold, so the condition.
-1. Okay, yeah, no.
But if I spend one of those, no, I want the XP.
Okay, awesome.
I got to keep my fairy vengeance for when I need it.
Yeah, and
I think, my dear Selina, when those words leave your mouth and suddenly you remember that, Atalanta is a fierce killing machine that you've just yelled at. So why don't you take an appropriate condition for your mental state?
Sure. What's a good one you think of? Thoughts, Atalanta? Pray? No. It's like,
How about pray?
Yeah. I thought of that, but I'm like, but they're supposed to be social insults, right? That's the second edition.
Yeah.
I'll write it down just because I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, and
Do you have thoughts, Atalanta?
no, prey is fine, and I mean, I think Atalanta's eyes get a little fierce, and she says, "If you were not in debt to the Fairy King,
Which I'm not.
he seems to believe otherwise."
He wants me in debt to him.
The fact remains that my mother is dead because of your actions.
Brought on by your dealings.
Which only came about because you chose to bring me to the fairy realm.
Because you got super jealous because I slept with someone else.
The very night we became intimate.
So? When you've lived as long as me, you realize that doesn't mean much.
When you've lived as intensely as me, you realize it means everything.
So you just want me dead because something I'm not responsible because of something you did.
You keep trying to shift the blame from yourself, Selina.
So do you. You tried to imprison your former friend into a lifetime of servitude. Would you do that? Would you have done that to one of your pack members?
If a pack member had offended me, as you have, I would have disciplined them appropriately. The Fairy King is effectively your pack leader.
No, he is not. That is not how it works.
Well then, if he is not your leader, then prove it. Prove it upon the field of combat as wolves do.
That's not how we work.
If you will not challenge him and you will not face him, and all you do is run from him. Is that how you...
Yeah, that's how I survive.
By running. And running and running and running, and yet you're still here.
Yeah, I'm still surviving? Is that your point?
You're still here in Kingsport.
Yeah, I was born in Kingsport.
Generally, if one runs, one does not end up in the same place one began.
Do you understand the intricacies of the fairy realm? You know, that place that I took you and you got so scared that you ran off on your own?
Selina, if you refuse to deal with the fairy queen, the fairy king,
or the fairy, let's be fair, they both want me for themselves, and now I have to deal with you on top of them.
Yes, both of them have drawn me in because you refuse to settle your problems yourself.
You could have said no.
And how is that working for you? Just saying no to them?
You're not part of them. You're not bound by what they believe.
When you brought me to the fairy realm, you made me part of their intrigues.
I didn't make you part of anything.
We're done here. The next time we meet, my promise not to harm you no longer applies. I think I'm going to roll to shut her down.
I was about to say, yeah.
It's an 8.
you fuck something up at a crucial moment.
You're spending
One of the
a string.
promises, yeah. So I spend one of the strings, yes. So I still have one broken promise string.
So how are we gonna spin that harm?
I think when he says the promise no longer applies, like literally fairy like vengeance like burns her like from within, because fairy magic is strong. Like he made the promise, like he doesn't get the control when it ends. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool. Nothing like a little harm.
So, but you still got a 7 or 9 on me, right?
Yeah. So. I'll take they lose a string on me.
All right. But you get a condition in return. You're insane. And as I presume you're like storming out, I do want to say you better give Johnny his pelt back.
Yeah. So Johnny. I'm gonna go find Johnny, and I'm going to tell him to come with me.
I like that better than my plan to sneak off and ransack the house. So sure.
Yeah. I mean, he did eventually get me alone with Selina, so I'm going to keep my end of the bargain. I take him to our house, and I go into my father's office, and I open the safe he has in the wall, and I take out the box with the pelt, and I give the pelt to Johnny.
Yeah, I hug it like close to me. I sort of like bury my face in it. I breathe deep and I say, "Thank you, Atalanta."
I keep my bargains, and I think I put my hand on my shoulder, and I say, "This surface world, this will never be your home."
I've been learning that the hard way.
Go home, Johnny, with my blessing.
What does your blessing involve exactly, Atalanta?
Good wishes only. No obligation.
I don't know how much that's worth to me. And that's a shutdown, or I would like it to be. Sorry, let me make a chopper. Sorry, what? Was it? That's not worth anything to me. And now I'll roll them bones. And that is a 9. -1 is an 8. So I'm just gonna take +1 forward, I think.
Okay, and also you have the condition bitter.
That seems appropriate.
Wow, this is all so messed up. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of shake my head, and I sigh, and I say, You're not a very pleasant person. And I walk out.
So,
Yeah.
so Adam,
Yes.
during that whole awkward time, I guess when Selina and Atalanta come storming out, Harold's like, "So say, Adam, I was wondering if you might drop by and help me work on some stuff. It's mechanical, and
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I'm not much good with my hands.
well, to be honest, I think you need to sort of get away. I mean, Chastity and I understand how these things can get very complicated very fast.
What things?
I mean, love, which should be free."
You're a very strange person.
Yes, yes, I am. You have really no idea. That's why I really think it's worth your while.
What?
You're telling me you have no curiosity about where you're from?
And he was, sort of distracted and not paying that much attention. And then he looks with intense focus at you. I think anyone would be curious.
Well, why not come and satisfy that curiosity then, old man?
No tricks?
No tricks.
He leans forward and says, promise.
What is it with this town and promises lately? Yes, I promise. Trust me, I would not dare break this obligation.
Let's go.
Cool. So you go over to their house, which is a little on the outskirts of town, and he takes you around back to his work shed. Chastity sees you guys. Oh, Adam's here. And she's like, oh, Adam's here. And like, oh, it's for that. Okay. Kind of wipes her hands on her apron and comes into the room. And Harold is sitting there. There's a large canister, which, maybe to our eyes would look like a large oxygen canister. But there's all sorts of tubes and wires and gewgaws sticking off of it. And just kind of touches a thing. It's just the voice comes out from there.
The voice?
Hello, Adam.
Oh, God. I'm just going to roll to keep my cool.
Yeah.
If the player shivers from fear, roll to keep your cool. I rolled an 11. Christ. I'm fine.
I wish I kept the bloopers reel just because this would go on it. Yeah, so the voice comes out of that little box.
I don't know what to say. Adam, I think Adam, is there anything to sit down on nearby?
I think Chastity slips a chair behind you as if she thought about it.
I think Adam collapses into it.
There, dear boy. Don't worry. Everything's going to be fine.
Ooh, how is that happening?
The masters sometimes use this as a method to be present in places that would be inimical to them.
The masters?
Yes, the ones that come from the stars.
Kind of holds on to the sides of the chair seat and is like, Right. Those masters.
How are you getting on, Adam?
Is there any way you could speak in a slightly more calming tone?
Earl's like, I've been working on adjusting it. You should have heard it at first.
I really should not have.
It's like, let me. He throws Chastity's apron over it over the box.
I'm doing well.
And do you remember your purpose?
No.
Unfortunate. This occasionally happens during the retransplantation process.
What?
Your brain, boy. We put your brain back in your body.
It wasn't there before?
It made a brief but eventful journey. In a canister such as this.
He reaches out and kind of looks like he might touch it and then thinks better of it and puts his hands in his pockets.
How is your adrenal response doing?
What?
You probably feel that you crave fear.
Among other things.
We increase the sensitivity of your parasympathetic nervous system in order to make it more easy for you to heighten your adrenal response in response to other people's fear. We have trouble reassembling your adrenal glands.
My lip is actually wobbling. What? I'm sorry. I'm not a doctor, and I don't understand. Are you saying you brought me back from the dead?
In a manner of speaking, your body was shattered, destroyed. We rebuilt it. While we were waiting on the reconstruction, we took your brain to another world where we showed it many things.
What did you show it?
Your purpose, Adam.
I don't remember that.
Is this a good landing site?
What?
Is this a good landing site? Is it safe, Adam? Is it safe?
For what?
For our coming.
You mean the port?
We mean the town.
You want to bring a boat to the town?
We want to bring a device that spans the immense space between the worlds.
I've never been much of a poet. I don't understand. When you say landing, from the ocean?
From the sky.
Great. When you say safe, what do you need for safety?
We have analyzed your technology and know that it is useless against our abilities. It is not our plan to come in conquest. We are not so numerous. Will this be a place we can hide unseen?
The woods are deep and the people are friendly.
Is there a fastness we could begin our work in?
What kind of work?
Do not worry yourself about that, Adam. Once your job here is done, we will take you back. We will take you to a different world.
About that. That doesn't sound pleasant.
Oh, but it can be. We can show you pleasures unimagined by your species.
I've already had some strange experiences in that quarter, and I don't know if I would like to repeat them. Could I just stay here?
We are traders, Adam. What do you propose to buy this boon with?
And now, Adam kind of realizes what's happening and sits back and crosses his one leg over his other and says, well, you need my help.
You live at our sufferance. You do understand that.
Well, what's the worst that you could do? Kill me again?
Funny you should ask.
Oh, son of a bitch.
We will punish you for your impertinence and talk when you are feeling more yourself. Please enter your darkest self, thanks.
Bitch. What is my darkest self? I forget. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, so in fact what they do is your metabolism is suppressed. And if you don't feed, you'll just stop moving.
Great, good.
Have fun. I think I need to check in on everybody else right now.
Cool.
You just chew on that. You've got Chastity and Harold, though. I mean, clearly they're working for these people, so. So where shall I swing the spotlight of my attention to next?
I know is once Selina comes out, she's expecting Adam to be there, but he's nowhere to be found.
No.
So that's
yeah, and there's a group of werewolves between the Century Club and your house who they would not let you go back there.
Just picturing a bunch of 19th century werewolf toughs. Are these all the same social class as you, or?
I mean, some of them are. Some of them are like a lower social class, sort of aligned with my family. I mean, this is my wolf pack.
Okay, yeah. So they're just standing there. One guy's flipping a coin.
Yeah, and
I guess. Do you need your fairy jury to show up now?
I don't know if they should show up now, but I mean, it does make for like pretty good shot, like cinematically. But Selina's wondering, I'm like, can I just walk there through the past them through the Fey realm? I think that's a gaze in. That feels like a gaze into the abyss to me.
So it does.
Is that what we agreed on, to try to travel through the fairy realm without bringing someone?
At the very least, you'll figure something out.
Yep, I'll try. I was like, I really don't want to kill these people. Like, get in a fight with these people.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about killing them.
Well, I mean, I have a red cap on my side. I have to worry about death. That's a 6 total, so I'm happy with this. So
You try.
I'm taking.
You try and get to the Fey realm, and it's shut to you.
Of course it is.
The only way that you can walk through now is with a guest, because they can't they can't violate that law. But somebody is blocking you from coming back in.
And I approach and Selina.
Atalanta.
I don't want to engage in violence
I feel like
on the
that's
city streets.
of course.
And like I open my jacket and I show this, and you can see this very large knife made of cold iron. So if you'll give me your word to come to the woods this evening with none of your little fairy friends, none of my wolf friends, and we'll settle this matter between us once and for all.
No. You may want to kill me, but I don't want to kill you. Despite your stupidity, I don't want to see you harmed. I'm sorry your mother's dead, but I'm not responsible for that. You want to kill someone, I can take you to the realm. I can let you hunt the king. He's the one responsible. But you can hunt me all you like. I'm used to being hunted.
But there's one thing you don't know, Selina, is that if I bring the fairy queen your pelt, she's promised to bring my mother back.
Yeah, that's a promise you want to. That's a deal you really want to take up.
I do, and I think I pull out the knife.
Well, this is a great moment for some more fair vengeance.
So what's the play here, Selina? Are you calling the jury?
Are
they here?
Yeah, I figured like they were there. If it's like the wolves it's the wolves versus the fays.
Yeah, Glenn's looking at someone like, I love your hair. I'm gonna wear it as a hat.
Yeah. Do get another broken promise. Thank you, Johnny. So yeah, you're gonna fuck up something simple at a crucial moment, suffering one harm if appropriate. I have an idea that like where it wouldn't cause the harm, but like the fucking up something simple. Where like you thought it was cold iron, but like it was replaced by someone, probably a fate, a fairy. Because fairies are dicks.
They are.
Almost, they don't like cold iron. So like it's a knife. It'll still fucking stab me because I'm still human.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it could just be that Atalanta goes for you and you're just able to sprint away from her. The harm is only if appropriate.
Yeah.
I missed that before, but we'll leave it in just because it was kind of cool. Does that work for you, Atalanta?
Sure. That's fine. Yeah.
All right. Barblau summons out his scythe and kind of swings it around at your werewolves, and they back up temporarily.
Right.
So, Glenn's just like, "Go, boss, go! We'll take care of them. I like puppies."
I will run away then.
Okay.
Should probably roll, right?
Yes, I think you should
Literally
probably.
a move.
It is literally a move.
Is my gang giving me a bonus to run away? Sounds like they are. Because they are trying to hold back the pursuers.
Yeah, I mean, this seems like literally a situation where your gang is helping you to do the thing you're trying to do.
Yeah, just what clarification.
Yep, I think that's probably fine.
7 plus 3 is a 10.
Woo! You get away clean. Okay. Awesome.
Get away to a safe place.
I feel I am owed a visit to Johnny. Johnny, how are you doing today? How's things? Things are kind of tough, right?
Yeah, I had a rough day. I'm not quite ready. I mean, I'm Johnny is quite ready to leave Kingsport. But Jesse is not quite ready for Johnny to leave Kingsport. So I think
Poor
yeah. I think I go down to the beach and I strip off my clothes. And I put on my pelt. And I swim out to the continental shelf. And I look down into the depths. And I think about what it means to be home, and that's good. I would like that. And then I think about what it means to never leave home again. And I'm not ready for that. So I turn around, I swim back to shore, I remove my pelt, and I go find Rebecca Pembleton.
It's not a long walk. She's kind of standing at the beach watching you.
Yeah.
You're so pretty when you're in the water. You know that, right?
It feels good to be there.
You're not like the elders. I mean, the elders are beautiful in their own way, but not like that. There's something mammalian about the whole thing.
I've met some of your elders. They're wise and strong, but different from, I think, you and me. Even you now.
Do you know if any of your people have ever joined my people and become like us?
I don't even know what that would mean.
Then let me ask you a second question. Have you ever known any of my people to join yours and become like them?
I think about it like for a long time. And I say, I think sometimes some of your people have visited us before the change, around the change. I don't know if any of them have stayed. If any of them have stayed, they've become so much like us that you can't tell the difference. And we don't talk about it. So I don't know.
What if I don't want to change? What if I want to be like you?
I don't know if that's something. Rebecca, I came out here because as comfortable as it is in the depths, the water doesn't move very much. It's very, and out here, everything is different and new and strange, and it's new every day. And yeah, a minute ago, it was ugly, and it's still ugly. Atalanta and Adam and Selina. But Atalanta gave me my pelt back, and Selina promised to help me. I don't really know what Adam's dealing with. There's none of that where I come from. Really, we are who we are. Anyway.
I don't know who my people are anymore. My family's lived on the surface now so long, half of us can't even do the change. This Reverend says our blood is weak, but I think we're just becoming something different.
Look, I'm not going home yet. And I hand her my pelt. I say, I don't have anywhere to keep this, really. Can you keep it safe for me for a little while longer?
Are you sure you want me to have it?
No one else here has shown me that I can trust them with it. Prove to me that coming back was the right thing to do.
Well, she's definitely crying at this point. She's like, I'm giving water to the parents. This is a good sign.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I definitely kiss her. I don't think this is a turn. I think it's just end scene there.
Yep, that works for me.
Yeah.
Hi, Adam. How are you doing?
I'm having a weird and horrifying evening. So,
How you doing with that hunger there?
I'm probably looking for somebody to eat. I think I probably went running off into the woods.
Yep, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, who you headed for?
I mean, I'm hoping for animals. But whatever I come across is probably going to get eaten.
Like eaten, or eating their fear?
Well, my darkest self is pretty rough.
Yeah, it's Catholic about your hunger, isn't it?
It's really Catholic about my hunger.
Cool. So you come across a fresh kill and start feeding on it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right about the same time that the gang of werewolves comes back to the clearing. I think Atalanta, you're probably with them.
Sure.
So one of your guys is like, why is Adam stealing our kill and eating it raw? There are mysteries here, is what I'm saying, boss.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to sniff and sort of extend my senses and like gaze into the abyss to figure out why is Adam acting like this and how can I reach him? Because I can tell that he's not right.
Yeah, I'm not right.
This is fair.
Okay, and let's say there's moonlight, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's a 10.
Well then, streak broken. Actually, I think you succeeded earlier too. It's not bad stuff.
Yeah.
So. Cool. Did you know that he was undead before?
I don't think I was certain.
Yeah.
You're 100% certain now, and you also can just feel the hunger radiating off of him.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I need to roll into the abyss again. It's like how can I reach his regular self? Okay, that's a 13.
Well, one thing occurs to you right off the bat. You could hunt with him for a little while.
Okay, sure. It's like yes. Well, I will lead him on the hunt with the pack.
Yeah, he's straight up trying to eat the wolves.
Okay, we're going to distract him with some nice deer or something.
Great. I mean, he tries to eat anything that comes near him.
Yeah. So I think we start herding animals his way.
Mm-hmm.
This is horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's bad.
All right. Well, I think at some point you finally managed to overindulge and probably just come to holding a deer femur in your hands covered in blood.
Probably real, yeah. Yeah, I think
you're not wearing a shirt at least, so.
I'm not wearing a shirt. No shirt.
The shirt got lost at some point. You know how shirts go in Kingsport. They just vanish mysteriously.
Yeah, I think he comes to covered in blood in the middle of nowhere. And immediately like flings it away from himself and just like buries his face in his hands and starts sobbing.
Yes, and this wolf walks up to you and sits in front of you and transforms and it's Atalanta and she is not wearing a shirt.
Important note.
Yes. Yeah, and it's and she reaches out to you and gently places a hand on your shoulder and just says softly, "Are you all right now?"
I mean, he's hysterical, and I think all he says is, "I will never be all right again."
Right, and I just embrace him and like I'm patting his back and I'm probably also turning him on at this point.
It might be real.
So
only some hungers have been satiated. So.
Oh, that was a 4.
Oh, it's a shame.
Yeah. Atalanta is apparently not very good at seducing naked men covered in blood.
Cool.
Who would be?
So, while you're doing this, all of a sudden you hear a yelp, a wolf yelp from around you, which is unusual because your pack had transformed back into human shape. But when you look around, they've all transformed and they scatter into the woods.
Great.
Possibly because of the elegant 10-foot tall woman striding through the clearing.
Fuck.
She looks very cold, angular, and elfin.
Great.
She leans over you, Atalanta. Darling, darling girl, where is my pelt?
These things take time.
No, they don't. They take will.
Adam like looks up at her and says, "If you don't mind, we were having a private moment."
But I do mind. And you'll bite a civil tongue.
He looks at himself covered in blood and torn to shreds and is like, "I don't feel very civil."
I think Atalanta, there are others helping her, other fairies.
Oh, no, I think I'm rolling to shut down the fairy queen.
Okay. Okay, hold on. I'll hold off until this disastrous event reaches.
Yeah, I mean, I'm making a mistake. Oh, no, I'm not. I rolled a 14.
That's very nice. What would you like?
Oh, great, good.
I will totally not make you regret this decision.
Oh no, you're totally gonna make me regret it. It's great.
Yes, I
He's
am.
having a really bad fucking day though, so he doesn't care. They gain a condition, not wanted.
That's fine.
And Atalanta says, I was prevented from taking my vengeance by others of the fairy realm. Did you know that she has allies?
Oh yeah, I'm one of them.
And did I not offer you something worth any trouble to take, Atalanta? Or are you going to fail like your noble namesake did all those years ago?
My namesake failed from vanity. I promise you, lady, I will not fail.
Adam like looks at you and is like,
Yeah, you just did promise the Fairy Queen, didn't you? I'll hold you to that. Bring me her pelt, or I'll take you in her place. I have an empty kennel and I need an occupant. As for you, dead man, the thread that binds you here is so thin. But looking at you now, I see that what you truly crave is your own destruction. And I'm not in a killing mood today, so I shan't give it to you now.
Adam leans back and looks at her like she's a bug. He is just in no fucking mood.
She just looks at you and a smile comes across her lips. What are you going to do when they come for you this next time, Adam?
Probably die, lady.
Not if I can help it. I'd rather you suffer. Do you know what they're going to do to you? They're going to put that little brain of yours in a very small space and drag you off to a planet where the sun never shines. You'll never die. You'll never grow old. You'll never know the touch of another human being's hand. You'll never hear another word of human speech. You'll never speak another word except that they allow you to. You'll only see what they let you. The rest of the time you'll spend alone and cold in the dark. Oh well, I could have helped you, but you don't want me around, so...
I know what your help costs.
And what does the lack of it cost? Atalanta, you have until tomorrow night. It's the last of the full moon. Bring me the pelt, or come to heal. I care not which. And she's gone.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it's the end of the session, folks. So,
Yep. I'm fine.
Everything's
I feel great.
everything's fine. This is
This
fine.
this is a horror. This is a horror game. Sometimes I forget, but
I'm way more fucked than I usually am in these games.
fuck yeah. So that was fun. Next week we'll do the finale, and then after, you can all wonder why you sign up for these things.
I know why.
Is it another fair
I
child
mean-
going to get lost in the fairy realm?
Another
for
they're just everywhere.
for sadness and melancholy and sweet, beautiful tears.
Yeah, basically. That's why we come.
That's why I keep
Yeah,
coming back.
All right.
That would seem to follow. Cool. So I will see you all next time, and I will. I think we might need this one tonight, so I'm going to just drop this in the other room. If anybody wants to drop by in Discord, and other than that, thank you guys all so much. This has really been a hell of an experience. So.